Let's talk about how to process an internet order on the Stratopos system. You can see here I'm logged into the back end of the website, and I'm actually on the list orders page. That page comes up as the first page that comes up when you log into the back of the website if you're a store user. Now this would be the orders that are in play. These are all the orders that need to be shipped. And I'm going to shoot down and I'm going to work on this order here, 77176. Click into that. And here is my order. First thing I can notice is that there's no special notes that anybody's put in, so it's a nice standard internet order to process. And you can see it here, it's obviously a test order with first name test and last name test. And now we can see what's being shipped. It looks like it's a couple of puzzles. And there's the quantity. So the first thing to do, obviously, is these need to be picked and packed up. So you'd go find them off the shelf and get them ready to go. And because the software is so strong with its barcode functionality, now is when once you've got the items on the bench and you're ready to get them packed, you would verify them via barcode scanning. So you'd grab your barcode scanner, and we'll put this cursor here, and we'll scan. And what we want to see is that these red boxes disappear. Once they disappear, that means we know we've scanned the right quantities and the right products that need to be shipped. So I'll scan the first one, and we got a nice little beep. And then we'll scan the second one. And then we realize, oh, oops, I missed that. We should have picked two, so we go and get the second one. Because we would wonder why we still have a red box if we scan it, and the answer is because we're supposed to be picking a quantity of two. Scan it a second time, and there our red boxes have disappeared, and that means what we've picked is what actually needs to be shipped. Now the next thing to do is figure out how we are going to courier this, and because there's no courier entered here yet. If we had a long list of things to courier, 10, 20, 30 items, it'd be a little bit tedious selecting each one down onto its courier company. So, and if they're all being shipped in the same way, we've got a nice little button here. You can just click on same courier, and that'll autofill it all the way down. You can, a lot of times the courier tickets you use often come with a barcode also. So once that's printed, you can scan that and put it in here. And if we didn't want to scan and put it in, we could click on same courier, and that'll autofill it down for us just like that. And already we're able to track that. Obviously, if you've just keyed it in to the courier company, there'll be nothing to track yet. Their driver won't even have collected it yet. But it's the same functionality. If you go back to this a day later and some customer's inquiring via the phone, then it's nice and easy to track it. This will actually open up a window on the courier's website to tell you exactly where it is. It's just a little bit quicker than having to go to the courier's website yourself and type in everything. Just click this one button, and it'll tell you what's going on. Likewise, this same functionality of this track button is on each individual internet customer's account page. So everything is tracked. Each individual product they've bought has its own separate tracking. So in a lot of cases, if it's one order, they'll obviously all have the same courier ticket. Pretty straightforward. But there are cases where somebody buys something for whatever reason. You need to send it by two different courier companies. Perhaps they come from different places, or perhaps one item is very, very large and needs to go with a trucking company versus a courier company, or maybe something's fragile or it's dangerous goods, and you need to use a different company. So you can put it onto a different company, put in a different tracking code, and then your customer, even if they've ordered multiple things and they're coming multiple different delivery methods, different companies, they can track each one individually without having to call you or email you. It just makes things go a lot faster and more efficiently. Now, getting the information where this product needs to go, there's numerous different methods of addressing a parcel. In some cases, you can just straight copy and paste the information over into the courier's website, and that will take it. In other cases, you need to copy and paste copy and paste the individual lines. We strongly recommend copying and pasting versus typing it in, just by virtue of the number of mistakes that are eliminated by copying and pasting. In some cases, if a very basic system, you would print a packing slip like this and send it to the printer, and you'd fold up and maybe put it in a little clear plastic pouch that you would stick on your parcel, and that's a legitimate way too of doing it. And then you just perhaps peel off a prepaid courier ticket, and you don't actually have to enter the address into the courier's website or anything like that. Nothing wrong with that. Nice basic way of doing it. A more advanced feature that we're looking at adding to the Stratopos software would be figuring out which courier companies the majority of Stratopos' customers are using, and putting a button here which you click on it and it would send the data to that courier company. That would just save a bit of copying and pasting. So that is in the pipeline. Now, so we've got the products, we've picked and packed them, we've put the courier tracking numbers in. We're just about all done. You'd probably print a packing slip and put it in the product you're sending so that it lines up with what they're actually getting. The packing slip obviously doesn't have any pricing details. If you wanted to include pricing details, you could just actually print this page. Keep in mind, anybody that ordered it they'll also have a copy of the receipt already that they would have automatically got when they ordered, and that would have come by email. So you can do we'd probably recommend doing a packing slip, at least to the people that open it, which may not be the people that purchased it. We'll have a list of what they're supposed to be receiving. As an aside, the Stratopos system handles multiple stores very, very well, and you can see this column here, the shipped column, says which store it's coming from. So we're logged in right now as the Manhattan store, which is why we can see all the items that need to be shipped. If another item was coming from another store, we'd be able to see it, but it would be all grayed out, and we wouldn't be able to update it. And that would be an item that would be coming from a different store. It would come from a different store because the Manhattan store simply didn't have it, but the customer wanted to order it, and we had it in stock at another store. Now, the last thing to do to finish off this order is to simply put it to shipped. See a nice little confirmation it's been shipped, or updated there in green, fades away. And if we needed to put a quick note, we could put a message there if we needed to any staff also working on this order. That's just about it. I do want to talk about one last feature on this page, and that feature is that there is no update button on this page. So that means everything is live update. So I changed that status to shipped. The order has been shipped. I type anything in here or here. So comments that the customer can view, comments that only the admin users and store users, that people that work for the company can see these comments here, the two different types here. All that stuff is saved right away. So there's no save or update button that we need to click on. Likewise, all this stuff as it's entered is all what we describe as live update. It's just happening. So you got to be a little bit careful. If somebody's written a big note in here and you delete it, well, it's gone. You can press Control-Z to get it back, but if you delete it and then go off to do something else, it's been updated. And that makes things faster and a bit more efficient. You just have to be a little bit careful in these comment sections. You don't accidentally delete something you want to keep. So that means to ship an order, you do all that stuff, you change its status, and you're done. There's no extra clicks in terms of change the status and then go update. We found through testing over many years that if you're sending off hundreds or thousands of orders a month, and you get some new staff or temporary staff, you'll have a few problems where they update the order to ship, but they forget to click on the button. This just eliminates those mistakes. That's all. Thank you very much for listening.